Hello, everybody. Welcome.
Hello.
Can you hear me, Maho?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Great. Hi, everybody. Thank you for being on time. For those of you who are here, and let's show our appreciation for how complicated technology can be sometimes, and give an extra couple minutes for people to join in and join us for this momentous occasion. We at TalkBush are 10 years old, and we have for this for this big anniversary of ours, combined this anniversary with a major announcement, which is the integration of TalkBush with Sam, the first Gen AI voice AI interviewer, which you'll get a chance to see today on the show. So I'm going to, we're going to give another minute or two before we get started. And let me introduce you to Majo. Majo is, where are you dialing in from today? I know you were in last week.
Yes, but I'm back home in Costa Rica.
There you go. And Costa Rica is where we have Majo is a senior product manager at TalkBush, has been with us for a long time, and is familiar to a lot of our customer. She works on a number of problems, particularly around TalkScore and other products, and she will be helping me today to present this new technology called Sam. Okay. We've given a minute or two. I think we only have an hour. So I'm going to start presenting and sharing some slides to the audience. Let me see. Majo, please confirm that you can see what's on my screen.
Not yet.
Are you seeing this?
It's
Not
loading.
yet?
Yeah.
Loading.
Now I can see it.
Okay, great. So thank you everybody for joining, and let's get started. So, I'm going to start by giving you a little bit of history about TalkBush, because we are 10 years old, and in our mind, we're still a startup and we're still reinventing ourselves constantly. But in reality, we've proven that we can see the passage of time and survive it. And I think it's put us in a unique position as a company to be 10 years old, because we have been experimenting and innovating in conversational AI from the very start. And today, I think we're the only company, the only provider in the market, which combines voice, chat, and other communication channels in a fully integrated platform, the way we are doing it. And that could not have happened if we started last year. This is the result of 10 years of hard work. So there are benefits to just sticking around, basically. And it's one of the great lessons I can pass on to other entrepreneurs is, your first mission is just staying alive and keep building. And if you do so, good things will happen. We'll show you how by a little walk through the timeline of our 10-year history. So 10 years ago, we started out as a company that we wanted to be video interviewing for the emerging market. People didn't have mobile internet, they didn't have smartphones, but we wanted to make it possible for them to be considered for jobs. So we used this old technology called the phone, where you call people over a Nokia phone or another phone to find out who they are. We collect data over a phone call, and then we record it on a website. So think of it in sort of a most basic sense. We started out as a voice answering machine for candidates over the phone. And back in 2014, I was working at SAP, and I quit my job to launch TalkBush full time. And we had, we signed a few customers pretty quickly in the BPO space. A year later, we started realizing that the Philippines was a great market for us. And I know we have a lot of people today who are logging in from the Philippines to see this announcement. So mabuhay, good morning, everybody. Thank you for the support over the years. Philippines is a great market for high volume recruitment because there's a lot of people looking for jobs, and there's also great talent in general. And we started hiring ourselves in the Philippines, and we started our office there in 2015. And what we found is the voice screening technology was good, but only if we were able to feed regular leads, a lot of traffic. So we started working with employers and companies on how to generate more candidate traffic by buying ads on Facebook. So in a way, the two services combine perfectly, where you would buy traffic on Facebook, and then you would screen the candidates over the phone, and you would deliver a qualified lead. So we were in a perfect place just because of that service that we were offering. We were in a perfect place to take advantage of the API from Facebook Messenger, because in 2016, Facebook let developers like us start to build applications on Facebook Messenger, and that was our entry into conversational AI, where you use natural language processing and where you start building chatbots. Before that, you could say the IVR is a form of chatbot, but this was our first text chatbot in 2016, and in fact, I think it was the first recruitment chatbot on Facebook Messenger worldwide, and certainly the one that stood the test of time. There's a lot of companies that started in 2016 that were doing chatbots, but not too many of them are still around because they didn't expand their value proposition over the years. So in 2017, we started seeing success in Latin America. We opened an office there, and today, half of our team is in Costa Rica, like Majo. So it was really critical development in our company history. And by the time 2018 was there, we saw that the chatbot was the way to go. That millennials, I think they were millennials at the time. Now they're Gen Z, the young talent. But at the time, we were still talking about millennials. They were very happy to get a chance to talk to a chatbot, and they were preferring this method of engagement over landing pages, over phone calls, over everything else. So we were really transitioning to be first a communication platform for chat. And so we relaunched our platform to enable that, to have that real-time chat experience in the center of TalkPush. And volumes was really starting to pick up. And, I think by then we already had, 20 or so customers in the Philippines, big enterprise customers. So things were picking up nicely in 2018. And we started launching a mobile app. We obviously, Messenger was the first one, but then we launched in 2019 on WhatsApp, and that opened the market a lot for us outside of the Philippines, and helped our customers in Latin America. And actually today, we do more traffic on WhatsApp than we do on Messenger. WhatsApp just passed Messenger for us globally, which is something that basically, the seed was planted in 2019, so that's how long things take often. It took 5 years for WhatsApp to really overtake Messenger for us. Globally, we know that WhatsApp is a bigger platform than Messenger, but our belief is no matter which market you're in, you have to be where the candidates are. You have to meet them on the messaging platform that's best for them. That's WhatsApp in some parts of the world, a lot of the world. It's Messenger in the Philippines. But actually, for some people, it's neither. They might be on line Messenger, they might be on SMS. Some people prefer using iMessages. Some people prefer using the phone and prefer talking. There's all kinds of preferences out there. And our history is one of getting closer to the candidate, making it easier to connect with them, letting them choose what's best for them. So 2020, we saw a lot. It was COVID. We saw a huge amount of growth because everybody was stuck at home looking for a remote work opportunity. So in a period of 3-4 months, our traffic increased 3 or 4 times. And that put a lot of stress on our infrastructure. And it was a good thing that it was the same year when we launched Autoflow, which is our workflow automation engine. So it's the first time when the users could come into TalkPush and they could decide if this candidate meets these criteria, send him that message, or if he does that, move him to the near hire, or move him to this stage in the recruitment process. And you could set all of these automation workflows for the first time in TalkPush. Before that, it was much more basic version of that. So again, I can't imagine TalkPush today without that feature. It's probably the most used feature of TalkPush today, the automation feature. And for every active users in TalkPush, there are hundreds and hundreds of these transactions being made automatically every day. So the users are kind of like they're like driving it's like driving a spaceship, a rocket ship. You're not supposed to be at the steering wheel. You're looking at the control board, but you're not steering the rocket ship. The rocket ship is already deciding where it's going, and that's how it is with Autoflow. Like, you're not supposed to be deciding what happens to candidate every minute of the day. You're just supposed to be on the receiving end, and that all started in 2020. So big moment in our history as well. We launched, seeing that messaging was a great way to connect with candidates. We thought, okay, now that we have a great connection, why do we stop at recruiting? Why don't we also help them with onboarding? And we launched TalkPush Onboard to make it easier for candidates to be onboarded on Messenger, on WhatsApp as well, and to collect all of those documents that are necessary to start your employment journey. In 2022, we launched TalkScore. Majo is the product manager, and she could talk about that, but it's our first foray into the assessment world, where we started rating people for English fluency. And shortly after that, we launched a job matching score, so that, again, there was a lot of demand, and there still is, for AI and machines to be able to grade and give grades to candidates, so that you don't have a human bottleneck in terms of reviewing applications. 2023, we launched an AI-powered feature using ChatGPT to recognize documents. And so, first time integrating with ChatGPT, and a few other announcements. And then 2024 was really the year of Sam for us, which we're gonna talk a lot about today. And Sam is the first Gen AI interviewer, and really, just to tie it back to the start of our history, we started out calling candidates and asking them 2 or 3 knockout questions, basically. The system was heavy-handed, a little bit, very expensive to activate, and the candidate experience was a little bit uncomfortable. It felt at the time that the automation was good, but for most people, they would rather just pick up the phone and call the candidates directly, because a human will typically get more information from a phone call than a stupid IVR, interactive voice response system, which is just speak, record, speak, record. It's not rich, it's not smart. So you might as well just call the candidate with a human. That's where we came to realize back in 2014, 2015, 2016, and when we started shifting to the chatbots. But in 2024, that changed. The voice bot is not stupid anymore, and we're going to show you how smart it is. And it is, just over the last 6 months, the innovation has been insane in this domain, and we're going to show you ways in which you can personalize this experience and make it smarter than anything you ever thought was possible today. So Today is a passing of the torch. Our first recruitment chatbot was called Stanley, and Stanley worked really hard over the last 10 years, processing over 16 million candidates and 2.4 million hires. So thank you, Stanley, for your services. Stanley is still working hard for our customers worldwide, but our customers will be transitioning, at their own pace to Sam, which is the new bot, which is better, smarter, faster, stronger, and that's what we're showing you today. So this innovation came powered by ChatGPT, and there are other LLMs out there that we could use as well. But I guess, from a candidate perspective, you may say, well, the candidates don't care about who powers this technology. The candidates don't care if you're the latest, most cutting edge Gen AI. They don't care about these buzzwords. What do they care about? That's true. They don't really care about that, but the consumer expectation has changed. Billions of people are logging into ChatGPT to ask questions and to have conversations. There are alternative platforms on Google Gemini, on Meta, on every software these days is moving towards a conversational UI, and the bots are getting smarter. So we have to follow the consumer. When you're in a recruitment space and high volume recruitment, you're dealing with millions of people, and you're not going to change their. You have to adapt to their behavior rather than the other way around. That's always been our philosophy. You have to take the candidate and treat it as your number one customer. That's what we do at TalkPush. We look at what the customer wants, and the customer is the candidate. What the customer wants today is to be able to have an intelligent conversation with a bot that goes beyond just press 1 to get to the next menu. Thankfully, we're at a time in history where this can be delivered. So previously, our bots were designed with scripted flow, kind of the image on the left you see on the slide here, where everything is decided beforehand. So you can imagine that takes a lot of time to reach an agreement on with our customer. And we're moving to the space on the right, which is not everything needs to be decided ahead of time. You just you write the laws of physics, to continue the allegory of this Milky Way galaxy here. The laws of physics are written. We know where the stars are moving. We know where the destination is, but there are an infinite ways to get there. So it's not so scripted, and this is what a Gen AI bot is able to do. This is what Sam is able to do today. So continuing another allegory. So why is Gen AI important? Is because it just gets you there in a better way than before. So before 2016, you remember in 2016, our company history was, we launched AutoFlow in 2016. That was the moment when you could basically put it on autopilot and say, just take the candidates and take them to either shortlisted or hired or whatever the next step in the hiring process. Take them there. So this is like putting train tracks and saying, just go there, point A to point B, get there as fast as possible, please. And now in 2023, we still have a starting point and an end destination. So with this allegory, with a plane, you still need to have an airport and a landing strip, but you don't have to fly the same route. You can fly over the clouds, under the clouds, sideways, around the mountains, fly around the storm, whatever. The candidate can go in a lot of different directions in talking to the bot. The bot will take it back to its final destination eventually, and so it's a much better experience. It's more fluid. It's easier. It's faster. If you're an airline company and you want to open a new destination, all you need to do is negotiate a deal with an airport. Say, can I land my planes there? Obviously, it's a lot more complicated to build a new destination when you're building trains. It takes a lot more time, a lot of approval process. So to continue on that allegory, with Sam, you tell us where you want the candidates to go, and you can change the bot's behavior very quickly, and the next day it can be operational basically. So that's why it's really important for everybody. So with this, I want to give you another speaker, give Majo a chance to tell you a little bit about some of these big shifts. We're introducing Sam, and we're gonna introduce some concepts, and then we're gonna show them to you in practice, so you get to see Sam in the real world. Yeah, Majo, are you there?
I'm here. Hi.
Yeah. Do you want to take those slides, or should I do the slides and you do the bot? How do you want to do it?
I can do the slides if you want.
Yeah, let's.
Pitch in. I want to pitch in.
From me.
All right. Give me just 1 second so I can share my screen. Let me know. Can you see it now?
Yeah, we're on.
Perfect. Hi, everyone. So as Max has mentioned, we are really happy to present Sam to all of you. Sam is our newest AI recruiter, and Sam is here to transform the high volume recruitment by delivering real-time unscripted, and this is really important, and we'll see it more in depth in a second, but real-time unscripted conversations. And this allows for improving candidate experience, which we know is a big pain point for a lot of high scale hiring companies, and also accelerating the recruitment process because of this, which we know is a big pain point. And it will accomplish this by improving your team's efficiency and allowing it to be super scalable, because Sam can take on millions of candidates at a time and do it in a very human-like way. So next, we're gonna see the breakdown of main features here. So in terms of conversational flow, as Max was mentioning, instead of using the pre-configured linear script, which is the more traditional bot flow, it is fully non-linear and non-scripted. So the conversation will fully adapt to the candidate's responses. And this means that candidates have a more personalized experience based on what they need, how they're actually interacting with the bot, and this will help conversion rates and the candidate experience. Language support, this is something that we're really excited about. So there are no longer fixed language options and manual language selection. Our bot can actually instantly switch real time for over 30 languages, which ensures a seamless, global yet localized recruitment process.
So I'll ask you a question on behalf of the audience here.
Sure.
What languages are represented? I mean, you say 30 languages here. What about more obscure dialects? How does that work?
That's a great question. So we actually support all of the, mainstream languages, and are working on supporting all required languages as well. So in the case of the Philippines, we know that Tagalog is one of the main languages, but also Cebuano, and this is something that we also can support.
Yeah, one thing that we used to struggle with here with Stanley is we had to decide the language beforehand. Now we can launch Sam in a new market, and we can let the candidates decide what language they want to speak in. So, right, you could just tell the candidate, yeah, what are you most convenient, comfortable with, and it switches to that language. Are we going to see a live demo of that?
Yes, I will show you in a bit how that works. And yeah, we don't even need to necessarily ask the candidate. We've seen in the past that a bot is configured in English, for example, but the candidates are speaking in Tagalog or in Spanish. And right now, we are now able with SAM to adapt to the candidate's preferred language for the application process. Position matching as well. This goes in line with no longer having very structured and fixed flows and processes. Sam can suggest jobs based on the candidate's responses and the candidate's experience and the available positions in their area. So based on the previous work experience, their preferences in terms of full-time or on-site remote positions, it will offer the best open jobs for their profile, which will allow for a faster application process and making sure that the candidates are applying to the best positions for them. We also have job matching scores. We already have this in TalkPush, and Max mentioned it briefly. This is currently a manual setup, right? So you have to first set it up with some predetermined criteria in order to score candidates based on these criteria. Sam can now do this automatically. So it will generate a job matching score specifically for job interviews and pre-screening processes based on the job description, the candidate's responses, their profile, and an attrition risk assessment. So this is included in the interview report that is also that we're also going to show in a bit, and this will also help to streamline the application process and the recruitment process. So it will guide and support recruiters and hiring managers in making decisions faster. Let's jump to the next. Brand voice customization. So those of you that have had bots in the past, you know that we've had a selection of customizable personas which have different voices and different styles of speech, but they were predetermined. With Sam, we have a fully customizable AI that can completely match your brand's language, tone, accent, and style. So yeah, again, we'll show you some of these options in the demo section coming very
Stick
soon.
around and yeah, in 15 minutes, we're going to show you some of these voices.
So you can actually see how personalized it can be, the configuration, and how many options we have based on specific criteria that you might have and job and company requirements. We know that security is obviously a big concern for all of us, and we want to make sure that this is clear to everyone. So Sam, the same as TalkPush, is designed to strictly follow all of the company guidelines and privacy guidelines. So we ensure compliance with hiring standards and legal requirements.
Let me jump in here for a second.
Go ahead.
There's actually a couple of questions I think that are directed at you from the audience in the chat. So you might want to read those from Elaine and Iana.
Yeah,
but on the security matter, I just want to say, one of the first reactions we get when we talk about using Gen AI is, oh my God, that sounds scary. It's going to behave in unpredictable ways, and it's going to say something that won't be representative of our company. And it's that feeling, that loss of control when you let the bot decide what to say instead of writing down every single word that they're going to say, is difficult for some people, some buyers, because they think it's a bigger risk. And here I want to draw the analogy to if I don't know if anybody in the audience has ever done some bowling before, but if you go bowling, you have the option of having these guardrails on the side that go up. And those are usually, they put them up for kids that are below the age of 5 who don't know how to control a large ball. And those guards basically make sure that the ball cannot go in the gutter. And in AI, in Gen AI, you also have those safeguards where you can say, before you say anything at all, make sure it is not offensive. So you're guaranteed that the bot will not get off script and will not say anything offensive, and will not misrepresent your brand. That's a mathematical or an IT impossibility. There's no way that the bot would say something offensive if you put those guardrails in place. So that fear is completely unfounded, basically. Yes, you can talk to ChatGPT, and yes, sometimes it'll say something wrong or it'll make up a fact. But in a very controlled context, like the one we're describing here, where you have guardrails, you have a 0% chance of something going wrong. So it is a very safe environment and a very controlled environment, much more than obviously relying on humans have a lot more variance definitely than these systems, and it is a very controlled environment. So I just wanted to just talk about that fear sometimes with Gen AI.
Right. And I think this also can answer Ileana's question. How does the adaptive job matching ensure the right candidates are recommended? So while we do give Sam some space to be adaptive, it is always going to be bounded by defined parameters, right? So we can ensure a consistent and appropriate communication in terms of security and data privacy, but also in terms of what the questions that are being asked are about, how the interview or how the conversations are being carried on. So we will give it all of the parameters that it needs in order to operate. And in the case for job matching as well, we give it the rules. So we tell it what a good profile is, what we're looking for that position specifically. And then based on that, it is going to ask, the questions or recommend the positions based on that.
Okay, let's push on because we're already at the half-hour mark. I'm sure people want to get to see the demo. But happy to take more questions on security. Separately.
Yeah, please leave your questions in the chat, and we'll answer it in a Q&A section in a bit. So another thing that is really important to mention is that getting started with SAM is super simple. So setting it up, getting it operating, it is a super fast and stress-free process, and we can have it ready in just a couple of hours. So it's not a super harrowing process. It's something that can be done super quick. So in the spirit of quickness, I am going to jump to our demo. And we're going to start with a little, let me share my screen again, a little demonstration of our text SAM AI. Let me know once you can see my screen. So our text.
Okay, we can see it. Is that your phone?
This is my phone, yes, right here.
Okay. All right, nobody call my phone.
Don't text me or call me. All right, so our text solution is available on WhatsApp, Messenger, and web. I'm showing here the WhatsApp for the purpose of the demo. As you can see here, what you're seeing is my
real. That looks real.
It's real. All right. So I have a couple of messages that I've already sent Sam that I wanted to showcase. So first I asked, I said what my job experience was, and it recommended a position, right? And then this conversation is fully organic. It's unscripted, and as you can see, it no longer requires the candidate to select an option. It really just carries on like a natural conversation that you're having with a person. Something really cool here, which we mentioned briefly in the past, is that I'm having a conversation in English and then I jump to a different language and the bot will jump with me, right? So right now we're having a conversation in Tagalog. And then as you can see, I then ask another message in English and it jumps back to English. So it gives me the options for remote positions that I can apply to, and then I just start speaking in Spanish and I ask it for remote positions in Mexico, and it just gives me the remote position in Mexico. And then I say thanks in German, and it speaks German, French, Korean, and we can
Okay.
keep going. Let me. I want to, and again, because of the way that it is set up, it can still understand even if there are some minor grammar or spelling mistakes. So let me make some too.
Yeah,
And
because maybe a candidate is on the road doing something else with the other hand, taking care of their kids, whatever. They're busy. You know, they're not then they're gonna type exactly the right words. But you with this technology, what I understand is it'll just extract what you mean. It knows what you mean,
exactly.
and it's able to respond
Yeah.
accordingly.
Yes, and
Just
it jumps from one language to the next without any issue. So as you can see here, these are so there's one remote position available, and it's showing it here.
you know, we
And
are
that's
hiring.
we are
Anybody on the
hiring,
call? We
and
are hiring for an account
that's
manager. Great.
that's how our chat works. And um, another
So
really
So the chatbot obviously has access to all the open positions and is able to like browse through them and figure out, what matches your requirement.
exactly, yes, and you can also determine based on job requirements, based on location, what are the positions that are going to be offered to the candidates. You can have some, for example, some flexible things like preferred remote, but willing to go on site, and then the bot can distribute candidates based on their answers to the best suited position. So you're not wasting time, and candidates are also not wasting time applying for positions that are maybe not the best fit for them.
Okay, great, amazing. And that's available on Messenger, WhatsApp, for career websites, and the messaging app of your choice. We can add more as necessary.
Exactly. So for the next section of our demo, we are going to showcase a quick um, quick voice call with Sam. Um,
So this is the voice version of Sam.
Voice version of Sam. So I will also show you very briefly some of the different scenarios that we currently support. So Sam can be used for a lot of different steps of the application process, not just for pre-screening, for a lot of different processes. So let me pick up. I'm being called.
Hi there. Is this Maria Navarro?
Hi, yes, this is she.
Wonderful. My name is Sarah, and I'm an AI recruiter calling on behalf of Top Push. I'm happy to have the chance to speak with you today. Do you have a few minutes for a quick conversation?
Yeah, I'm a little busy, but yes, I can have a few minutes for this.
Thank you so much for your time, Maria. I wanted to reach out because I'm checking in to see if you're still interested in a position at Top Push. You applied some time ago, and we currently have great opportunities in roles such as sales, inventory management, and customer service. Would you be interested in exploring these options further?
Yeah, I actually would love a position in customer service if available.
Fantastic to hear, Maria. Customer service positions are essential to our operation, and we're excited to find someone with your interest. You can visit any of our stores to continue the process, and you could even be hired on the same day. Alternatively, if you prefer, I can send you a link via WhatsApp to help you continue the application process. Would that work for you?
Yes, please. I would love that. Thank you.
You're very welcome, Maria. I'll send the link to your WhatsApp shortly, and that will guide you through the next step. Thank you so much for taking the time to chat with me today. Do you have any questions for me before we wrap up? If you need more information, a human recruiter will be available to assist you as well.
No questions. Thank you.
Great. I'm glad to hear that. We're excited to keep in touch and look forward to your next steps. Have a fantastic day, Maria.
All right.
She's so nice.
She's
so
really nice. Yeah. Her name is
We don't have anybody human like that in TalkPush, but we do have Sam.
We have a lot of Sams. So
yeah, we have infinite Sams, but we don't have anybody in our company that is that polite.
Yeah. So as you can see, it is a very natural-like conversation. It's easy to follow. It guides you through all of the steps. And we don't have a lot of time to showcase a super long call. But the cool thing about Sam as well is that it will always very politely kind of drive back to the ultimate objective, right? So even if the candidate starts speaking of other things or kind of like moving away from the question or not really answering the question, it will very politely kind of guide them to the place where it needed to be. And it won't stop until it has the information that it requires, right? So as part of this demo, I want to show you the other side. So how does this, what information does this need in order to be configured? So let me show you the,
yeah, it sounds amazing in a demo like that, but I'm sure people would ask themselves like, okay, you can do a quick demo call like that and it works, but how much time does it actually take to activate and train and tell what to do? Is it going to take more time for me to set up Sam than I'm going to actually save using Sam?
Yeah, and the answer is not at all. So setting this up is super easy. Let me share here. So this is the Sam assistant that just called me, Sarah. The scenario that this is set up in is engagement calls, for passive candidates. Let me also show you some of the different options that we have here for setup. So you can name your assistant whatever you want. Then you can select one of our available scenarios, and we have a lot. So on-site interview invitation, job for an event invitation, engagement calls, status update, reminders, document requests, rejection notification, offer extension, onboarding, interviews, feedback collection, custom calls. So again, the list is pretty long, and we can have SAMs that are configured and have the guardrails that we already mentioned already set up for each of these scenarios. And then you can see here a little description of each of them. And then we can also set up a persona. So for example, if we want these calls to be really short, to the point, we can, for example, select concise and helpful. She's still going to be polite, but she'll be concise. Or if you want someone who is a lot more, that will talk more and give more support to the candidates, supportive mentor, and so on. So we have a lot of different voices and personas that can be used. Other than this,
and I think, just to interject here, sorry to interrupt, but the casual, the straight to the point thing, that's really valuable in some cases, because you just want to collect the information and you want the call to be as short as possible,
right.
Because we're not talking about dollars and cents yet, but there is a cost per minute to activate, to running these voice calls. We don't charge for the chat conversations, but there is a cost per minute for the voice calls. So it could be useful to have something, that gets the quick answer, the data that you need.
Right. And you can have different SAMs for different scenarios. So for example, maybe a rejection notification, it would be good if it wasn't as, short and direct. But for an interview reminder, that's a super quick call. They just have to, make sure that they are either attending or not their interview tomorrow on site or whatever. So again, you can have different SAMs set up for different scenarios, and all of them can have different personalities, different different configurations and different ways of handling the conversations. So apart from that, we can select a language. So here you can see the list of the languages that we currently support. And within these languages, we also have voices and accents. So as you can see here, we have accents, male and female, from different places of the world. I'll show you a little preview of our...
Hi team, I'm Ali, committed to leveraging my recruitment expertise to help us navigate the job market and find roles that perfectly suit our needs. Hi team, I'm Ali.
So this you can listen to the previews of each of these voices, and you can select the main voice basically for the...
Can you try the Australian accent just to
Sure.
show?
Yes. The male or female? I clicked on the female.
Female, always.
Hello, I'm Mia, a dedicated recruiter with a passion for matching top talent with the right opportunities.
Nice.
My goal...
That's her. And then I can show you Hugh.
Greetings,
Here.
team. Hugh here, your brand new AI
It's
assistant.
like Scottish.
I'm here to assist.
Yeah, those are popular accents for call centers, actually. Trustworthy accent. Great.
Right. So as you can see, it's super customizable. You can select the options that best match your the candidates that you're hiring, so they feel more represented, and they are more likely to complete their interview, answer the phone, and whatnot. But also what matches your employer brand the best, and your communication style as well. So we have a question here that's really important. Setting up maximum conversation time. Yes, we can definitely set up hard stops. So you won't have conversations that will run on and on and on forever. And yeah, that's also something really important. Well, for these kinds of calls, which obviously, as Max mentioned, are per minute. And I can also show you here the agent that we have. So the assistant has a brief description, and we can also set up a data extraction, and this is fully customizable, so you can decide what data points you actually want extracted from the conversation. You can say, I really need to know before this call ends the candidate's work experience and if they're willing to relocate, or if they have, a specific certification that is required for a position. So that data will be asked to the candidates by Sam, and then it will be extracted and it will be displayed in the report, which I will show you in a second. So let me quickly jump to the presentation.
I think I'll take this opportunity, this transition to talk about what you just described here, where a call is being made to verify a piece of data. Very often, we found that the candidate either already answered the question or it's in their resume, and still many employers still want to make a phone call to get us to check basically if the candidate has consistent answers and answers the same way over the phone that they did over the form. They realize that candidates are applying very fast to a lot of jobs. Not all of their answers are accurate. It may not even be because the candidate is trying to cheat or lie about who they are. They may be just applying so fast that they're not paying attention to what they're saying. But then when the phone call happens, they're a little bit more likely to be honest and to basically give you the truth. So that's why these phone calls are happening, to check information that's already been collected often.
Right. And sometimes as well, Sam will use information from either previous conversations or the CV, and then ask further questions on that. So expanding on what you mentioned in your application or what is written in your CV, please talk more about this position. So that's something as well that we can do with Sam. Let me share real quick how this integrates with TalkPush. So SAM calls can be configured inside of Autoflow in TalkPush. As you can see here, there is an option for SAM AI calls, and there's two ways that these calls can be triggered. One of them is an outbound call. So as soon as the Autoflow runs, the call is triggered. That's like the example that I shared. The candidate receives a call. And then the other one is the candidate is the one that triggers the call. So they receive a message that prompts them to activate the call, and then they will still receive the call, but they will decide when it is triggered, basically. And after the conversation is completed, in the candidate profile in TalkPush, your hiring managers and recruiters will be able to see an overview of the entire conversation. So the status of the conversation, the type of the scenario or the type of conversation that it was, in this case, an interview or a call to give them onboarding information and take questions regarding their onboarding, a recording of the entire conversation so they can actually listen to it if needed. And as I mentioned before, the score. So in this case, a 4.3 out of 5, based on the job description criteria that was set up for that position specifically. And then these are the data extraction points that are set up in the assistant. So these are the things that were set up for this position as required to ask, basically. So we wanted to know how they would handle client conflicts, if they had any CRM tools, et cetera, right? And then we, at the bottom of these, we have the questions that were asked by the candidate. We can also follow up on that, right? So what are the things that they're more interested in? Are they asking about, I don't know, like positions or mobility within the company, benefits or whatnot? We can also have that here for visibility for the team. And something really cool as well is that apart from this, an email is received. And this email contains all of this information, but also suggests potential follow-up questions based on the conversation or the interview. So if the candidate mentioned a specific skill but didn't fully expand on it, proposed follow-up question can be, can you expand more on this thing that you mentioned during your interview? In case there is an actual interview with operations or a further interview with a recruiter at some other point of the process once they are ready to be hired.
Cool. Thank you, Majo. And I think we're reaching the end of the hour. So I'd love to invite all participants, everybody who's here, to ask some questions. I'm amazed by all the scenarios that you've put up on the screen where Sam can call to do all kinds of new situations that weren't there just a few weeks ago. So it's really exciting. And I mean, I'm coming away. I was talking a little bit earlier about the dread of AI and the fear that it's going to misbehave and go in the wrong direction and not be controlled. We hope that you're walking away from today's presentation with a feeling that you are in control. You can control when Sam is going to make the phone call, what voice it's going to speak in, what accent, what language, what data it's going to collect, the type, the way it wants to talk, and the sort of tone and personality of the conversation. I mean, you may not. We're changing recruitment in the sense where, yes, spending time on an actual phone like this is not going to be the work of talent acquisition as much, and we think it's a good thing because we think these calls can be very repetitive and tedious. But on the other hand, we're empowering our users to design a very unique experience that truly represents how they want recruitment to be done in their company. How does it sound? What does Sam say? Every step of the way, you can control the experience to deliver to your candidate the best possible experience. And I also want to say, so all this will be available to the TalkPush customers. If you're not a TalkPush customers and you're logging here to find out about Sam for the first time and you would like to experiment with Sam, I invite you to go to talktosam.ai and you can sign up and create your account there for free. But if you want to activate your AI recruiter through TalkPush and get the full support from our team to activate you, I invite you to go and check out. Take out your phone now and open your camera and scan the QR code just like you would in the restaurant and place your order today. And you'll be given some free credits and assistance on how to get started, whether you're a TalkPush customer or not. We're happy to assist you in getting you started with your new AI recruiter. And this is new technology. It didn't exist 6 months ago. As you can see, we've built a lot of features around it, and so it's able to handle a lot of different scenarios, and it's done hundreds of interviews in different geographies now. So it's ready for the big times. What we want is for the market to catch up with this technology. The technology is ready, but many market players are not ready yet because they're waiting. They're waiting for others to make the move. So don't wait around to make the move. Be one of those companies that is leading the way and delivering a wonderful candidate experience by using voice AI and generative AI to show that you can deliver a better experience to candidate, more real time, more personalized, and so on. Please try it out. And I think if you scan this, you'll get a special offer and you'll get 500 minutes for free on your first Sam account. So we're exclusive offers for people who are on this presentation who came today. Okay, do we have time for a question? Question for you, Majo, from Samantha de la Cruz. What would a company need to provide for you in order to train the bot? Let's say you're starting. What do you need from? I think you covered that briefly, but you can go back to that.
Yes, of course. So first, we would need information about company description, general company description, information about the positions. And in order to fully, obviously, give support some of these scenarios, we would need information on, benefits, company culture, policies, application process, etc. So depending, obviously, on each scenario, we might need different things. If you want to cover onboarding and document collection, for example, asking for documents, calling to ask for pending documents, we would need to know which documents you require, as an example. So all of this information we will use to set up your SAM.
Nice. Okay, well, I think that's all the time we've got for today. Thank you for everybody for logging in and joining us for this special occasion, 10-year. It doesn't feel. It feels like the time flew by. I don't think we can call ourselves a startup after 10 years, but certainly it's still just as exciting and fun in terms of innovation as it was in the first 2-3 years, maybe even faster. So that's big thank you and congrats to you and the product team, Majo, for pushing the boundaries on what can be done with AI and with conversational AI, and for making this anniversary even more memorable. And thanks for everybody for logging in today. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Oh, and happy birthday, Majo.
Thank you.
It's also
Thanks.
her birthday.
It's my birthday. All right.
Cheers.
Bye, everyone.